You want some of this? Mark, you don't want none of this, son? I'll take the both of you.
It's an experience that everybody can appreciate. It's a classic. It's like Some Like It Hot or, you know, Miss Doubtfire. It's actually, we like to call it Some Like It Hot meets Big Mama's House on a diet with Miss Doubtfire's makeup.
The story of White Chicks is the story of Kevin and Marcus Copeland, who are two undercover FBI agents who, after a series of screw-ups, are given the assignment of babysitting two spoiled rich white girls, but at the same time trying to capture the kidnapper.
So their chief gives them a hard time, and they get assigned to this case to watch over two girls who are being kidnapped in a sense.
They're kind of like the guinea pigs, and they're going to be watched by the FBI very closely.
And all they have to do to get back in good grace with their chief is pick the girls up and drop them off in the Hamptons.
That's all we gotta do, is pick them up and drop them off. And somehow, we managed to mess that up.
We never make it there. We end up getting in a car accident, and it really wasn't our fault. You know, the dog jumped up on the thing and, you know, started sliding, so I tried to catch him, and then I let go of the wheel, and then we ended up in a ditch. So we didn't know that our girls were that vain that a little scratch on the mouth and a little blood on the nose is going to stop them from going to the Hamptons event.
And so they end up going undercover, looking exactly like us. And I mean exactly. I mean down to our skin, our nails, our toenails, our hair, everything.
The idea actually was Sean's idea. And we were sitting around just kind of reading magazines, and he had this magazine. It was like a FHM or one of these magazines. He's reading the interview and he just was laughing. And he goes, me and Marlon should play these girls.
I thought he was crazy. I was like, you what? And we play who? You white women?
We just try to keep it as funny as we could keep it. There's not like one thing that we go, gotta have that ingredient. Why we can't put it out? Don't have that spice. It's not that. It's just we, you know, just keep trying to push the envelope on, you know, what's funny.
You know what they say. Once you go black, you're gonna need a wheelchair.
Hey, Latrell.
Wayans brothers comedies go there, and they stay there. And they don't mind if you squirm while you are there. That's a Wayans brothers comedy.
It's a situational comedy with our Wayans spice on it.
Because we all write it together, we understand what it is, and we're all committed to the same idea creatively. And then once we get out there, then it's about, okay, how do we take it up a notch? And they trust me as their director, and I let them do pretty much what they want to do as actors. You know, we always get what we need first, and then I allow them to play, and they come up with brilliant stuff.
Their timing is perfect, and, you know, Marlon and Sean work their little tushes off. I mean, they literally worked their tushes off for this.
Is really genius in the fact that they are using these two men's comic talent to the most. I mean, that's just the most brilliant thing.
With comedy, that's the only way to go. It's got to be the truth. Because if it's not the truth, it's not funny.
With us, and the reason we like working together is that everybody does something well. And so Sean is very good at ideas and concepts and things like that. I'm good at executing the idea, and Marlon's good at performing the idea.
It's three guys with the same vision, but with different skills that all come together and make what it is that we do.
It's just such a wonderful, supportive environment. The Wayans, you know, Keenan and Sean and Marlon and the whole cast, the whole crew, everyone's so supportive and really loving and really encouraging, and it's so, I feel like, I mean, at least for me, I just feel like it's been really easy to just go for it.
Seeing Sean and Marlon and Keenan together on the set, I think they must lead such a beautiful life because they just laugh and have jokes with each other all the time.
It's a blast. We have fun doing it, and that's the most important thing. Is I always want to keep our smile, and I don't want to look at this as work. So that's why we continue to do our thing, and it's always a fun journey.
We spent a lot of time and energy hoping that we could make the transformation work. It's the concept of our movie, so it's the most important thing we had to do.
So we came up with a plan that first we would just do a makeup test just to see what they would look like as girls. So then we wound up casting girls. We took the guys and tried to find girls who were similar in height and had similar features that we could then, Greg could then sculpt off of.
The trick to making them look good and subtle was that you couldn't use any makeup on them. You couldn't use all this eyeshadow and eye makeup because then it started looking like a drag queen. You had to do it so subtle, even though I used a lot of makeup for highlights and shadows and real corrective makeup to get them even softer looking. So I came up with this mixture we sprayed on the skin that gave it this bright orangey red color.
I definitely found myself looking in the mirror in the morning sometime and just going, man, even for a check, you're pushing it, pal.
So they started on their diets and they got a nutritionist and a chef and started losing weight.
I lost 20 pounds, 25 pounds. I went from 175 to 155.
But, you know, you got that little voice in your head going, yo, dog, I ain't with you. Hey, you know, I'll go with the contacts and the wig, but, you know, what's with these panties, man? You ain't telling me about these panties. This is weird.
Their physicality is so effeminate, and they studied so many women, and even their mannerisms, if you, on the set, behind the scenes, they're always mocking us.
When you see the boys in their makeup, it's just incredible. You know, it's incredible to see them as white chicks, and it's so funny because the first couple of times when I actually saw them without the makeup, I was like, oh my God, you're not white?
One good thing the makeup artist did is that you can actually see the emotion in Marlon's face. You can see, you pick up everything. It's not like a mask at all. I mean, he's moving, his face, just everything.
I'm an okay black man, but it's kind of strange that I actually look good as a white girl. It's a shame. People was coming up and going, you're so pretty, but they never come up to me as a black man and go, you're so handsome. Oh, so your brother gotta be a white woman, then they like me more.
The show has been a blast. You know, we've had so much fun. The best cast I can imagine. Everybody is fun and funny and truly committed to making this a great movie.
The Wayans have such a great body of work. I mean, there's no denying it.
There's a funny part in everything they do. And it's not just a comedy because they take it over the top. They take it to another level.
We don't just go for humor, because humor makes you smile, and we try to make you laugh.
It's a comedy about making fun of what it's like having everything that you could possibly want.
It's not a movie that takes itself serious. It's just a broad, big, kind of feel-good summer movie.
Sean Wayans.
Don't hurt yourself, sweetheart.
Don't worry.
Marlon Wayans.
Let's kick it old school.
This is our jam, ladies. This is our jam. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, and I'm homebound. Take a tip and break.
You know I would want to take a bus 1,000 miles. Oh, she's a station. Let's go. I know you hookers don't think this is over with. Let's kick it old school. Here we go.
We knew we could write all the funny stuff, but can we actually make them look convincing? You know, because we didn't want to just kind of put a blonde wig on them and some paste. So that became the next challenge, was can we actually do it?
To make a man, black skin, as a very white woman, and a kind of an attractive white woman, and not do a drag queenie type of a thing and make it look real.
It was honestly one of the funniest things you can experience, seeing someone else walk around. Because he really did, even from the first makeup test, look a lot like me. I could really see myself and sort of like the spirit of my face.
I can't remember a film where anyone's really done it. I mean, I've done Doubtfire and that worked, but this, with young, smooth skin and the really pale color and everything, it was going to be really difficult to pull off.
When we first talked to him, Greg thought we were insane. He was like, come on, guys, you know, it's easier to make a woman look like a man.
If I think about, I'm going to try to turn these guys into these women, I'll just freak. So I don't think about it. I just get the head casts and I just say, let me see what I can do with the clay first, you know. And then I went out and bought some really, you know, nice synthetic wigs, blonde wigs. I sat down, sculpted on their faces we took in stone with clay, and got a first rough look of kind of what we were going for at the time.
First, we would just do a makeup test just to see what they would look like as girls. We didn't really have any reference points or anything. And the first test, Marlon looked gorgeous, and Sean looked like an ugly woman, but he looked like a woman, and you could see that this was gonna work.
You're gonna regret that. I'm so scared.
The first time you do a makeup, you're lucky if you get anything on straight. But we did it. We had some, you know, quickie wigs and everything, and we tried some different contacts in, and it was pretty amazing test, the first test.
Also, Revolution had the same concerns that we did, so when they saw the test, it was like you immediately just bought it. So then it was about, okay, now we got to get some reference points. So then we wound up casting girls. We took the guys and tried to find girls who were similar in height and had similar features that we could then, Greg could then sculpt off of. And we found their matches and went for it.
I had to have my eyes measured, like the distance between my eyes and my nose, and my lips and my chin, and like my whole face.
Yeah, they have this a little instrument that looked like two fingers about to like squeeze you somewhere you shouldn't be squeezed.
And looking like at her eye color and everything, and I don't know. It is amazing, the match.
The contacts felt like somebody cracked the Coke bottle and just dug you in your eye, and they just left it there, and then you have to blink around the jagged Coke bottle in your eye.
I remember the first time we did the test, I was in the hallway at our shop, and I was standing a foot away from Marlon, and he had the contacts in for the first time, and the makeup and the wig, and I was just really freaking me out.
I think I just can't accept that this man is looking like me. I just can't accept it.
And also, every time you looked at him, you just wanted to laugh really hard. I mean, it's just so, it's a really crazy looking situation. You look at, I mean, he's the same height as me, and he looked kind of hot too.
When I saw me as a white girl, I said, damn, I'm sexy. I want to be with me. I would have made love to me. I said, because I'm an okay black man, but I'm one sexy ass white woman.
Yo, what's up, money? You got a problem? What you looking at my ass for? Nah, yo, hold my poodle. Hold my poodle.
First, I seen Marlon, and I was like, ew, you're an ugly white girl. And then I seen me, and I was like, hey, you ain't that bad looking. I'm an ugly white girl.
Damn. Sure like to cut that cake.
Hey, yo, hold it. Hey, yo, you trying to look at my luck?
They don't really stand out in a world of Botox and collagen, and that was, we sort of used those things to kind of rationalize people being able to accept them not looking exactly like the other girl. It was like, oh, you got some work done.
Total fireside. Knew it.
No, wait a minute. There is definitely something different about the two of you.
Oh my God. Collagen.
We're lucky in the sense that everybody knows they're wearing makeup from the get-go, so you don't have to, we're trying to get it really close, but if you get too close, it's not going to work either, so you have to do it as what's going to be funny. And even though their necks are much wider than any girls would be, everybody knows it's makeup, so, who cares?
The audience always knows that these really are two guys pretending to be women. At the same time, we want the makeup to be good enough that the audience will accept that the characters within the movie would have believed that these chaps are actually women.
Do you think now's a good time? Actually, it's a perfect time. Wouldn't want to miss a photo op. Oh! Never mind. See you later.
Have fun. What's wrong, honey? Did you just get cramps?
Yeah.
Do you need a tan?
Just
heating pad?
It was about a 5 to 6 hour makeup process, 5 hours a day.
And that was after we got it down packed. It started off like somewhere at 7 hours, and then it cut down to 5.
First they had to slick their hair down for the wigs. Then they had to put the prosthetic pieces on.
Takes about half hour to 45 minutes for the body makeup. They go over to hair to Linda. She flattens their hair down, sticks it all down. They come over here, we put a bald cap on them. We do all the appliances on their face, make it up, color it. That takes about 2.5 to 3 hours. Then they go to makeup. Rebecca does the lipstick and a little eye makeup and whatever she needs to do. And they go to Linda, where she puts on the wig, which takes about 20-30 minutes. So the whole thing takes about 5 hours.
It was a lot. I mean, they would work sometimes till midnight and then have to be back at 3 a.m. to start the makeup again.
You know, this was a very hard movie. It was not for the faint-hearted. This was the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life.
And what's funny is that even in the movie, we make it seem like all they do is slip this mask on and, you know, clothes, and then you're good. But it really is a long process.
It's a lot of work. People have no idea what's involved. When they see the film, they think they just slap it on, you know, and have no idea how much work went into this.
I think I need a bigger size.
Honey, you never need a bigger size. Come here. Let me show you a little trick. Brace yourself. Suck it in. Squeeze those cheeks, sister. Suck it in. They literally worked their tushes off for this film. I mean, they lost like a ton of weight so that they could look more realistic as women.
I lost 20 pounds, 25 pounds. I went from 175 to 155. Actually 178 to like 155. And then I left 5 pounds to kind of gain during the duration of the shoot.
In this particular situation, it was really funny because you got 2 guys who had to lose 30 pounds and 6 hours of makeup wearing panties and heels and short skirts, and
you know, you got that little voice in your head going, yo dog, I ain't with you. Hey, you know, I'll go with the contacts and the wig, but you know, what's with these panties, man? You ain't telling me about these panties, this is weird. And you know, I showed the subconscious what we were making on this, and he was like, all right, cool.
They had PMS for 8 weeks, you know what I mean? It was that kind of thing, so I had to kind of, you know, referee them a little bit, because they were literally starting to get into cat fights. And it's good because not only am I the director, but I'm also the big brother, so I can, you know, control things a little bit.
The first time I saw Sean and Marlon in makeup, I actually didn't know it was them, because we had seen already Maitland and Annie in their costumes wearing the exact same costumes. So I had seen them earlier on set, so when I saw Sean and Marlon from behind, I thought they were Annie and Maitland. And even when they turned profile and were getting their makeup done, and I thought it was them, until Sean was like, yo brother, give me some green tea, and I was like, what?
Hi honey. What's up, man?
I can't. Oh my goodness. That was the first time I've seen him dressed up looking like the white girl. And it's like looking at a stranger. And then his voice, and then a little swagger, like a little pimp walk, and he's got blonde hair and blue eyes. It's just too much.
You don't know who you make with my name. Me. Hello. Me. It's me.
Kevin? Latrell?
Gina.
Marcus? Oh, this is some Jerry Springer shit.
We actually forget that they're black men under there. And we'll start talking about cramps or our female problems, and Marlon's like, hold on. This is Marlon. I don't want to hear about that. And we're like, oh, right. And we forget, we get so, ironically enough, we sometimes feel more comfortable with them in their costumes dressed as women than as men, because there's that camaraderie between women, that feminine bond. And we have it with them on screen and off when they are in their hair and makeup. It's divine and obscene.
All done.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! This is so cool. You know something? I think you might have been black in a previous life.
For shizzle my nizzle. You know them girls ain't gonna be there.
Oh, they'll be there. Hey, Josh.
how'd you like to be part of the team?
Where are the white women at?
Let's do this.
The idea actually was Sean's idea.
Sean came up with the idea. And I thought he was crazy. I was like, you what?
We were sitting around just kind of reading magazines, and he had this magazine that had Paris and Nikki Hilton. It was like a FHM or one of these magazines. He was reading the interview and he just was laughing. And he goes, me and Marlon should play these girls.
And we play who? You white women? And I was like, no. And then when I started digesting it, I was like, you know, that could be pretty interesting.
As soon as he said it, I was like, that's brilliant.
Well, actually, it was our idea. It was me, Marlon, Keenan, and my other writing partners, Yoembi and Green Tea. And those are the two guys that keep me up at night thinking of ideas. So.
Welcome to the Royal Hamptons Hotel.
The bag's in the car, Jose.
The name is Gomez.
Whatever. Yeah, great. Here, and take baby. Clean out his bag. Poor thing just pooped everywhere. And teach him how to say quiero Taco Bell. Thanks a lot, Rico Suave. Grazie. Thanks, Julio.
I just think it's classic. It's classic comedy. It's not for a race. It's not for a gender. It's an experience that everybody can appreciate. It's a classic. It's like Some Like It Hot or Miss Doubtfire. It's actually, we like to call it Some Like It Hot meets Big Mama's House on a diet with Miss Doubtfire's makeup.
Holy smokes! Yeah! That was nice.
I mean, we go for what's funny, and that's that's going for something that's not the usual every time out in the movie's experience. So, we just try to keep it as funny as we could keep it. There's not like one thing that we go, gotta have that ingredient. We can't put it out. Don't have that spice. It's not that. It's just we just keep trying to push the envelope on what's funny.
Damn.
Is we don't just go for humor. Because humor makes you smile. And we try to make you laugh. So we want to try to make you bust a gut. So what we like to do with the audience is take them down a familiar path, and just when you think you figured it out, we give you something a little different. And that's where you get the bigger laugh.
It was so funny and so preposterous. Initially, the idea of thinking of Marlon and Sean as white women was absurd.
When you see it, you know that it's definitely Wayans. Nobody does a comedy like them. That's what's going to make this an amazing film.
I think the Wayans brothers have a very specific sense of humor that, sometimes I don't even think it's always the funniest. like it's like really specific.
Oh my God. What happened to the sun?
Easy, white chocolate. I wouldn't want you to melt.
Yeah, hasta la vista, Schwarzenegger.
There's a term, it's called going there. You might hear it on Ricky Lake or something like, don't go there. Wayans Brothers comedies go there, and they stay there. And they don't mind if you squirm while you are there. That's a Wayans Brothers comedy.
And if you need to use protection, tell Latrell there's an extra shower curtain in the bathroom.
But ultimately, the movie really is more about our two guys who become better men after living their lives as women.
There's an underlying whole female-male relationship back and forth with Gina and Marcus, with how things happen and get confusing inside relationships. And then you also have the start of a new one with Denise and Kevin in their relationship.
Marlon, in his relationship with his wife, is very typical of most men. He's, we think that being a good provider is the priority.
And slowly but surely, he's not taking her out as much, and he's not complimenting her, making nice compliments anymore. And so she's looking and she's thinking that he's losing interest. And anytime you feel like your man's losing interest, you think there's someone else involved.
Sean is the guy who hasn't found the right girl, who's, just out there doing his thing. and secretly hopes to find the right girl. And always telling Marlon how lucky he is, but Marlon can't see that, and Sean can't see Marlon saying how lucky he is. So the grass is always greener, and so that's sort of the approach to their love life.
About 8 o'clock, is that good?
Yeah, 8 sounds great.
8 sounds good, okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care.
Well, you know, I think the underlying theme pretty much is be who you are, be yourself.
I think that it shows that, you know, that it's not just about the physical, you know, that there's more to life than just that.
You call them all day long because you just want to know how their day is going, you know, and what they're thinking about, and if they're thinking about you. You spend all day trying to find the perfect outfit. You even change your hairstyle just so he'll take a second look.
But they never notice.
Sometimes I just wish that they could trade places with us so that they would know how it feels, you know?
Well, with us, and the reason we like working together is that everybody does something well. And so, you know, Sean is very good at ideas and concepts and things like that. I always say he's good with coming up with the idea, I'm good at executing the idea, and Marlon's good at performing the idea. So in each phase of the process, somebody excels and is able to raise everybody else's game.
First we go, what's funny about it? And you start thinking about what's funny, and you just start beating it around. Normally that process happens with our producing partner, Rick Alvarez. He's always there. All right, you got it, this is great. And so, you know, we kind of throw it around and bat around, and this is funny and that's funny. And that's the fun part.
So then it was about making a list of all the things that black men would do in this situation. And then all the things that a woman and then a white female would do in the same situation. And then kind of juxtaposing like that. And that gave us sort of the equations for the jokes.
Hey, yo! You do that again, I'm gonna bust! And bust out in tears!
Oh my God! Impressive! You're a shark!
And then the bad part is when you go, all right, now let's poke holes in it and see what's wrong with it, and then have to answer those questions. And then that's the monotony. But the fun part is just going, oh man, and we all three think completely different. And so if someone throws out a joke and it might not be the exact joke, the other guy flushes it out, and then the other guy kind of takes it home. So, you know, it's a fun process, you know.
So show on my face, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, all right. You don't want to be here. And you're trying to, these are all tactics.
Hop in. Take your time. Watch those marshmallows.
You're in a rhythm, and you guys kind of, it's like you play hot potato with the idea. So you'll say something and the other person go, oh, what about that? And then you go, oh yeah, what about that? And you just keep pitching until someone says something corny, and then you drop the potato on the ground.
And you can't just throw it out there. You have to throw it out there and it makes some sense. And you know, and if it's bad, what they do is freeze you. And when they freeze you, that means it's not funny, and you get this.
Then once we get out there, then it's about, okay, how do we take it up a notch? And they trust me as their director, and I let them do pretty much what they want to do as actors. You know, we always get what we need first, and then I allow them to play, and they come up with brilliant stuff. And so that's kind of our working process.